perfection. Everything's looking good. All right, guys. Welcome to the Paint with Josh show. This one is gonna be fun, if you ask me. It's a very simple painting that literally anyone can paint. You can't mess it up, I promise you. I just released a tutorial over in the videos section of my YouTube page, right? That shows you how to make this guy in 10-15 minutes, and then we paint it. Super easy. Now you can see it's all dry. Right? Oh goodness, it's all dry. All this acrylic gesso. It's acrylic white and black and gray. And just mix the two. Gesso, and then we added a little bridge rocking over our little stream, a little bit of a reflection. And now we need to cover it in our oil paints and paint a really cool scene, right? So, in order to do that, we're going to need our Bob Ross liquid clear or a linseed oil type of a medium to cover our canvas, right? Our paints that we use are so thick and so crazy, just dense and dry almost, that they don't slide very easily across your canvas, right? Unless your canvas is wet, right? So we take a little bit of our clear, I'm gonna dump it in this big crisscross. I like to put it across the thing, just like that, right? We got this big X'd out area of our clear, and because our canvas is a little bit bigger, we might need a little, another little dip in there. Over here, just wherever, right? Now, because it's all over the place, in globs, right? It's kind of thick in certain areas. We need to take it and spread it out all over our canvas. Now, this will make your arm tired, right? So, don't plan on doing any exercises directly after painting, right? Go to the gym first. And then when you come back over here, your arm's gonna be extra tight. All we're doing is just massaging in this clear coat into every single little pore and little space into our canvas, right? That's all we're doing. And the dark areas, once they become wet, actually get darker. The brights get brighter. It's like putting on a clear coat of varnish. Literally the same sort of idea. And you can feel it where it's very thick in certain areas. The brush will drag versus where it's nice and slick, nice and thin in areas. It's very slick and it will run easily across the canvas. We just got to make sure that our whole canvas is wet, and then we'll go back and wipe it off. So don't worry if you put on too much. It's not a problem. We're gonna go back and take off all the excess. It's literally trying to mush it in and spread it as thin as we possibly can. And literally anybody can do this. I told you, your arm starts getting tired after a while, but literally anybody can. And if you're wondering, if you're just tuning in right now and you're like, oh, how did he do the background? Go check out my YouTube. Find the videos section. It's the very first one in there because I just released it yesterday. It's got over 1,000 views already in a day over on YouTube, which I consider a hard medium to get views on, or a hard platform anyway. There we go. Okay. Over here, over there. Literally, if you've never painted before in your life, you can do this scene with me this evening, and it should only take you literally maybe an hour, right? Maybe. It's gonna take me like 20 seconds. 20 minutes, we'll put this guy together. So, let's get over here. Now that we've covered our canvas with our liquid clear and it's all glossy, even though with all these white bits, it's kind of hard to see the glossiness. We're gonna take a paper towel, we're gonna fold it in half, just like this. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna drag it across our canvas like that. And because all the trees and the branches and everything is already dry, right? Nothing's going to happen. All we're doing is just removing our clear medium. Just like that. You take off that excess bit, right? No matter if you're Paint with Josh or Bob Ross or just starting out, you're probably gonna put on too much, which is why you'll wipe it off, right? Now, Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. Are we going teal and purple on this guy? Little tealy, little purpley? You gotta let me know. I'm gonna get the clear off of this brush. You just confirm for me. Since Tyler's already gotten this painting, by the way, he's gonna need your help to come up with a title for it. So as we're painting it, think of titles that you might wanna call this little painting, right? And then at the end of the show, we'll ask you for those titles, and Tyler might just pick yours. Maybe, just maybe, right? What are we looking at? Tealy, purpley? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, guys, so we're gonna be using not too many colors, even though we have tons and tons and tons of colors out on our palette over here. Right, we're gonna use our four main guys, the blue, black, crimson, and white. And then probably some of our 2 browns, maybe some of our green, some of our phthalo green, probably at least some of our yellow ochre, and some of our dioxazine purple, right? So what I always say is watch a video once through just to make sure that I actually do use those colors, because just because they're out here on the palette doesn't mean that we're going to use them, right? Let's grab a little bit of our phthalo green, which is a transparent color, right? Transparent means when you put it over the white, you're gonna be able to see the color, but when you put it over the black section, you're still gonna be able to see the black, right? It doesn't cover everything. It's not a very opaque color, it's transparent, right? Opaque means that if we were to take, say, our yellow ochre and brush it on there, instantly all the black little branches will disappear because the yellow ochre is an opaque color versus a transparent color. All right, let's get our little phthalo green out here into the night. Oh my, right? All those little things that we have already pre-painted will be just fine with a little bit of color drawn across them, and it's just some undercolor. You don't have to have the whole thing everywhere, right? We throw some down into here, maybe, just maybe, and we can always go back and cover over areas that we don't want to have that color, but just like that, right? Out in the night. Let's get a little bit excess on our brush and just go over our river area, right? Just in that same thing, we're gonna cut it off right there, and then we can kind of slide some purple back in there. It'd be really cool. You don't necessarily need to see where your river's coming from either, okay? Now let's get over here into the dioxazine purple. Oh, it's gorgeous. Now the purple, again, is a transparent color, but it's semi-transparent, meaning that the more that you put on there, the harder it's gonna be to see what we had, right? What we already had underneath there. So don't grab too much on your brush, and once you get it on, spread it out as far as it can possibly make it, and that way it won't be too vibrantly purple in one spot and not the same in the other, right? We want them to blend together. Look at these cool little color mixtures you can get when you take that purple and go across your tealy colors. Isn't that just fabulous? Guys, let's leave this open area of teal right here, right on the edge of the bridge. Maybe come up along the side with some purple, maybe back in there, right? Not changing it too terribly much, but just a little touch of change, a little difference. Maybe take some of that purple, drag it down from the top, because not the whole area doesn't have to be as bright, right? We get our darker colors up here around our corners, which will make our eye focus in and look into the center, not to mention the immense bright area that we're gonna pop into the center right there. Again, leaving our phthalo green area because a beam of light is gonna shoot right down into that spot. Let's take our little 1-inch brush, just because I'm too lazy to wash off the 2-inch brush. You guys gotta tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwiches? Man, that Bob Ross paint is literally so thick, I'm trying to drag it, and it's barely even coming off, right? A little bit. We don't need to have too much. Doesn't need to be globby or anything like that. Tell me where you guys are watching from, because I wanna know. Where are you watching from in the night? Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, give me a thumbs up over there. The more thumbs ups that we have, the better chance more people are gonna come in and watch, right? Oh, I like it. I like it already. You guys watching from New York, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Cincinnati, California, Missouri, North Carolina, California again, Michigan, you guys. I think I saw New Orleans in there too. Thank you guys all for tuning in and watching. Now let's get into here. And let's say maybe right here is our bright area, right? And normally, if it's so bright and it's a bigger light source than your branch, the light's gonna come around both sides, making it almost look like we're gonna squint. Okay, so let's get in here, just right in there. Pow! That bright spot coming right through the trees. Now, the white is also semi-transparent, so the more that we blend the white out, right, out into the edges, the more our little black area will come. But it's so fine and so just barely there. It just plays a cool little thing. Anyone out there an optometrist and can explain it to us why the light does that to our eyes? Right, back in here, just start to spread it out a little bit more. The more that we brighten it up out here, the more light is gonna show through your trees, right? So you get to decide just how bright you wanna have it. And let's say from our little bright area, right, there's a little streak, get right down like that, and we just go shoo, right into the bright spot. Isn't that fabulous? Just amazing. Just light it up. Just boom, immensely. Oh, Again, you can make it as bright as you want, just by adding a little bit more brightness into your sky in there, right? Very lightly working it out. Oh, sweet, right? We can take a little bit more. Maybe we got a couple little streaks out this way. Or you just work that color in a bit more into there, right? Try not to go back across our streak. That's gonna ruin it for us, right? Over here, over there, just blending some of that color out. Maybe start rocking down this way, right over our little guy. However you want it to look. Little bit of paint, I'm telling you. Bang, shooting down from our tree, over here, over there, wherever you guys want it to be. Or you go back and you blend it out, right? We don't want to have so much light onto our canvas. You want to keep it sort of dark, just like that, right? Just fabulous. Holy shaving cream, you guys. That is cool. Let's get a little bit of white over here, just to brighten up the edge of our, perfect, right there. Don't need it to be so bright, right? It's catching a little bit of light, a little bit of gorgeousness. You can always go back in if you put on maybe a bit too much, just rub it in there with your finger. Really? Oh, fabulous, you guys. All right, now that we got our light shooting down here, right? We got a little bit up into there and a little bit over here. There's a bit into our water, but our whole water is gonna get brightened up anyway. So let's get over here with a little fan brush, okay? Let's decide on our water and what it's gonna look like. Now we know that we don't wanna cover across our little bridge. So let's go back in here just very lightly. A couple little things. Little bits, right? Can be broken and all that stuff. Let's go underneath our bridge and start picking up little guys. Right? Go back and forth. I'm gonna go lightly across the reflection so it doesn't necessarily get rid of the entire reflection. And what if now almost looks like, whoop, I'll drop my brush. Almost looks like we could just drop off a little mini falls right there, over to the side and down. Over to the side and down, right? Take that guy, drag it off this way, just straight back. Looks kind of cool. This thing gets to the edge and then boom, dumps itself over. We got a couple little splashers in there, because you gotta have a few little splashers, right? Little splashy doos. Come back in with our 1-inch brush and just take a little bit of texture out of there, right? Just blending it up. These little splashes in the night. Come back in here, a little bit more paint right up underneath that guy. And let's start making some horizontally strokes this way, right? Little things, maybe our light has come down and hit into our water. But we're not gonna leave it just like this, of course. We're gonna go back and blend it out just a touch, right? Back in here, little blend. Little blend. The more you push on it, the darker it's gonna get. It's gonna take away some details and stuff, right? Oh, guys, you know what? That actually looks like, what if we came over here? Let's say we came out this way, right? What if all of a sudden, bang, there's another little mini falls right there, but you gotta have enough paint onto your brush in order for it to drop off and remain brighter. Little guy, maybe we start coming off this way too. Going off the other side, right? Making it look a little bit more round, like there's a little flat top of water. Take that guy, slide it back, just like that. Very cool. Come underneath, a couple more little splashers. Because not everything is gonna be crashing down so much. That's just a little falls. It's not pumping so much water as our bigger guy back there, right? Very neatly, we can just get in here, do little things, fill it over the edge, dump it down a little bit, right? Just to make it look however we want it to look, you guys. That's all we're worried about. Then we're gonna come in and take our bushes and cover over these areas where we can see into our water, right? We don't need that kind of action. Let's get over here, take our guy, we'll start coming out this way. Right, just very horizontal, dropping on some paint. Bang, our whole little rivery bit. Oh, I like him. You could even take it over here and cut in front of our little place and just have your little lake, your little stream kind of fall into this flat puddle down here. And however far you want to take it over is up to you, right? A whole little river bit happening back in there. Now, let's get back over here. We'll mix up a little touch of our 3 favorite colors. Now, what are those 3 favorite colors that we like to mix in order to create Paint with Josh Plaque? The deepest, the darkest of all deep, dark colors known to exist in mankind's history, right? What are these 3 deep, dark colors? Let me know. And bang, all of a sudden, guys, we're gonna be ready with this big old pile before you can even tell me, I bet. And we're gonna come in and do a little cottage. Just a little old cottage, right? Fabulous. Blue, black, and crimson. You guys know. You already know the answers, right? Now, let's get over here. Let's go with our, you can kind of, I mean, you could do it with your palette knife. You could do it with your fan brush just to get your shape in there. I want this guy to be a really, sort of a skinny little guy. So let's come up in here like this. Imagine in front of our tree, because anything that we put now in front of this little tree back here is going to be, zip, I want it to curve up like that. See that? Curve down. Get that little, a bit of a curve like that, and we'll come off the other side. Same little bit of a curve to our house. One side's gonna be a bit longer though. Bang, right down like that, okay? Just basically making a little mustache. Come up underneath our little mustache, we'll pull it down, maybe about 1.5 times, leave a little bit of overhang on our one side. Pull it down on this guy. And this will be 2 to 2.5 full length. So you got 1, 2, 3, right? Cute! I like him, guys. Let's get over here like this. We're gonna tap it down. Almost do the same thing, like a little zip, a rolling down action, and then we're gonna fill in that whole space. Okay, of course, we're gonna have to have a backside to our little mysterious little place over here, just by pulling straight down, come off of our roof like that, straight down onto it, right? And get our cute little, quaint little cottage in the night. I like it, guys. Zip, zip, zip. Just turning it. Have this cute little thing out there. Okay. Now, I know I'm gonna wanna have just a little stovepipe because our witch inside here is cooking up something fancy. So we go just inside the pitch of the roof, and then you pop up just outside of it, and then we'll be able to go back in and add some smoke coming up out of there. Oh, like she's cooking something, right? Now we're gonna pull down on this paint a little bit further than we think we need to, just so we cover up all that area, and then we can go back and add grass and do all that stuff, right? A little bit further than you think. Now, let's decide on a little woodsy color. Let's take a bit of green, a little bit of crimson, because they make the most gorgeous brown. The more you mix them up, you want more crimson than brown, though. But since we're running short on crimson over there, and I don't feel like getting more out of the thing, let's grab 2 of our dark brown colors as well. Mix these guys up, just like this, into our gorgeous little brown color. Now, some of the times, you can toss in a bit of your yellow ochre, just right in there like that. Right? Get these cool little woodsy, grainy little bits. Now, here's the trick. Don't over mix. If you over mix it, you're gonna just destroy, obliterate all of those little cool little woodsy, grainy things, right? So, pop a little white into here. Just like, there we go, there it's showing. Bang, look at those little things. All those little differences in our brown, right? Come in here like this, let's come up underneath it. Very flat, pull it down, right? Not trying to let it drag. Flat again, down like that. We're giving it a little bit of pressure, and that way it pushes down flat, right? I don't want it to break like a mountain. I want it to be very, very smooth, like wood, right? We don't want it to break like our mountain snow. Now, let's take a bit of that, we brightened it up with a bit with our white. Let's take a bit of that darker brown, because this guy's in the shadows back here. Pull down that darker brown. You can even let it intermix with your plaque mix to really make it go dark. Guys, just like that, you got a really cool little bit of a cabin out here. Start up here, work it down in our little, and then we'll work up this way, just like a little check mark. Right? Boom, boom, boom. That's gonna make your building look more 3D because it's coming down to this close point right here, which is lower than all our other points, just like we do with our trees, which I'll show you a little bit later. Just coming right up. Let's get in here. And let's say, just for fun's sake, let's see if we can anyway, let's remove as much paint as possible, literally pulling it off of the thing like that. Let's go around to this side, we'll pop in a little door. Just a shabby old little door back there. Okay, inside of our cabin, our witch is brewing something, I would imagine. So let's throw a little bit of our phthalo green right down into there. Just the phthalo green into our window. It should remain pretty dark. I can see it a little bit, but it should remain pretty dark. Let's get back in here with our white, and now it's gonna start to brighten up with every little drag. All right, so we can decide what's happening what colors? Maybe we switch to our cad yellow. And again, just the smallest little touch onto the knife. Come in here. Ooh, Nelly, look at that. Woo, something spooky's going on in there, you guys. I'm telling you. I'm not going in there without you guys. Oh, yeah. Bang, that green spookiness. Now, what if that green spookiness just so happened to be drifting up out of the smoky little tower back here, our little stovepipe, right? I'm just gonna hit it with just the corner of the brush, not the full brush, not coming at it sideways, just using the corner like this. So I'm touching literally as little onto the canvas as I can. The smallest amount of contact possible is right on the corner of the brush. And say, ooh, that smoke looks very much like our sky, right? So let's ditch the green color that's on our brush, wipe it off. Let's go back into our white and just use our white. And again, very light little things pop out over here. It's going up into the sky, right? All these little things you guys can do. Whatever comes into your brain, right? You get to choose. Maybe add a little bit more white. Oh, yes. Smoke rising from the witch's cavern or cottage or whatever the heck. Goodness, that's cool. Let's get this little guy. Come in very lightly because we don't want to mix it so much that it goes away. Just want to mix it the smallest little bit. Isn't that neat? Isn't that just neat, guys? Let's come in here too. I'm going to show you how to actually put a door in here, okay? Let's say we had our same color. All right, start all the way back on the top. Let's cover over our door just like it was before, right? Not every place needs to be perfect. Now, let's say we wanted to add a door that's shut, right? It's not open. So let's kind of cut out where we want our door to be. Maybe he lives, actually, with this sharp Paint with Josh knife, it might be impossible for you guys to see. So let's do it this way. Let's get a little bit of our plaque, a little bit of our brown color. Doesn't matter which one. It's going to darken it down real dark. You just don't need it to be so plaque, right? Oh, gorgeous. It's a perfect dark color right here. Now let's come around and let's tap just a little line and a little line over here. Let's use the small edge of our knife to get the top. Right, and now we've kind of cut in a rectangle that is, what's the word? It's kind of outlined, right? Just a little bit of detail around that guy. Doesn't have to be so dark. Doesn't have to be so crazily that we have to tell, you know what I mean? But the person that's going to look at the thing, that's buying it, and is going to look at every detail, is going to notice now there's a door back inside. All by putting just a little bit of dark outline on our door. That's all we're doing. Right? A little bit of outline, a little bit of outline. Now, of course, our little place has to have a door handle or something, okay? So again, we can even use this same fan brush. It's got the light on it. We're just gonna kind of scoop in just a little blob of dark. Boom, right there. A little blob of darkness right on the end. And we'll come over here and go, which side would we open? Well, we'd open this side right there. Plop, bang, got your door handle. Boom, right? It's gonna catch light from whatever you're looking at, so it will have its reflective side. It should have a darker side. And all of a sudden, we got a pretty cool little witch's cottage out there, guys. Brad Bob, what do you think of this one, dude? Now, let's go into our big old bushy brush, back into that plaque paint, right? Because again, it's going to stand out and block out lots of things. Now, I don't want to get rid of all of these cool little bushy, grassy bits, right? So let's go underneath them, kind of down, around, bang, just like that. A couple little bits right here. Now, in order to get to our bridge, I've just cut off her one access point to get to the bridge. So she's gonna have to, unfortunately, walk around or just jump on her broom and fly across. Either way, it's her problem now. It's not my problem anymore. A little bit of plaque up underneath, dangling down. Oh, it's fabulous, you guys. I just love that. I love that. Okay, now we're gonna come in a little bit with our little 1-inch brush that we were doing all of our stuff with. Haven't washed a single brush yet, okay? 1-inch brush into our yellow ochre with the sap green. Just dab it in there. Doesn't have to have any liquid white or anything, okay? Let's just tap out a few little areas. Down and away, and we're gonna work our way back into the side. Don't wanna go all the way to the edge of your water, right? Gotta have a few little spaces of dark back there. We can work this whole thing right? And even work herself a little path all the way around, all the way around her house. Now, it's up to you whether you want to cover that little area around the house or whatever you want to do, and you don't have to go all the way to the edge over here. But let's just say, let's grab a little bit more of that color. And let's just say out here we started picking up a little bit more detail as we started working towards us. Gonna let it get lighter and lighter and less off the brush so it's not so bright, right? Work it down in little horizontal lines, just one right after another, making them very flat. Now we got some grass, maybe there's some leaves falling into the grass back there. Very cool. Very cool, guys. See the difference in the color as well? Now let's use the other end of that bushy brush and let's go, where are we gonna go? Let's go into a little bit of our, actually let's get into a little bit of our liquid white, which will help it come off of our brush much easier. A little bit of our phthalo green. And again, just trying to get it onto the one corner and I'll show you. One should have color, one should have darkness. All right, we'll come off of this guy. I don't want to go here because that's too close of a color. So let's get back in here with all these little bits. Little guys, nothing too crazy. There's one that tried to live, he's trying to grow out over here, right? Wherever we want them to be, that's where they can be. Dab into our liquid white again, and right onto the same thing that just had the phthalo green. Let's go into our purple, because those are our two main colors. And let's launch some purpley bits off of this guy. That way, there'll be a disconnect of the colors, but it's not just a straight plaque thing, right? All up to you guys. You guys get to decide, and then you get to send them to me, and I get to go, man, that's a lovely little thing. I'm so happy you did my video, right? Very cool. Remember, all you gotta do is tap that thumbs up button just one time if you're watching over on YouTube, just once. One thumbs up, and then you can go live your life, right? Now, let's clean some of these brushes off. And while we're cleaning off the brushes, you guys have to tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Hey, let me know in the comments right now. It's going to take me about 1 minute. Get all these brushes all cleaned up so we can use them again. Remember, you can always find more stuff like this on paintwithjosh.com if you ever want to go over there. Check it out. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. Now we've got to take some of that plaque color, right? And make some trees over here behind our little witch's cottage. Oh, it's so gorgeous. A little gorgeous little cottage. What if, too? What if we took a little bit of white, a little bit of black, just to make like a little gray roof over here? Sweet. See that? How easy and quick it is just to mix up some colors over here. Take this guy, let it real soft, very gentle, very different from how we did our bit of our house right here, right? In these instances, it's okay to have some shadows and little breaks and stuff back there. Makes it look a little bit more realistic to me. Come off of his front side if you can get that angle. Tap, 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 tap. Little things, all you gotta have, guys. Now, let's mix up, or let me ask you a question. Do you think we have enough plaque right here in this pile to make up at least one tree over on this side? It's a little bit bigger than our cabin. You just type in the word yes or no, and I'll come back and read some comments, and then we'll try it, right? We'll test it out. For all the people that say yes, we'll test it out. We got a no, we got some yeses, we got some more yeses. So we've been painting for about 5 years, Garrett. Watching from Philly, appreciate you, my dude. Shane, watching, no, thank you, I appreciate all you guys. Man, just comments coming in like crazy. Yes, you guys think we have enough? I don't think so, guys. But just because you said yes, even though I'm the professional, we're gonna try it. Let's get over here, wiggle down into the paint, right? Dragging it down like long bits of hair or wig or whatever. Onto the brush. Now, do you think we still have enough paint, guys? I don't know. Let's get over here along the side, not trying to cover up everything that's up there, but what if we just dropped in a little guy, shapoopy, right there. Shapoopy. It's a hard word to spell and say, but you can do it. Shapoopy. That's it. Little shapoopy. We'll come down like this, our little swipey poo, right? We'll start tapping in with our brush. Now, as the more that we get down our tree, the more we can push in with our whole brush, start making little rounded sections. Maybe we pop out down here, like a little eagle's nest. Each time they get a little bit wider, right? Say you're like, looks cool, but I don't like that. That's okay. I'm gonna try to do it with the rest of this paint. You can come back in and fill in your intersections, right? Not everything has to be as wide or as filled or as thick. They're gonna grow at different rates, right? Different places. They don't have to be symmetrical. And I'm gonna show all of you guys that I don't think you guys are right on this one. I think I was finally right once, because that's the only bit of paint we got left. So, I'm gonna try. We'll see, but we need lots of texture for these trees, guys. Let's come down in here like this. Dab off again, try to miss our roof, because we know our roof already has a ton of paint and texture on it. So let's miss it, just a little, right? That little gap in between there is gonna push a lot of distance out. Woo, I like it. Last bit of paint, last little bit of branch. Do you guys, do we have enough? All right, you guys were right. We had enough. I guess you're the professionals and I don't know anymore. So, which is fine. Which is fine. Let's go over here. We barely had enough. But everybody who said yes was correct. Even though I said no, and we're gonna have to mix up more anyway. But you guys were all right. Okay, now let's get over here. I'm gonna get a much smaller brush, right? Same kind of fan brush. Just much smaller of a size. Let's get over here into this phthalo green with our liquid white. The liquid white just kind of makes our paint more watery, right? We can't use water because we're not painting with acrylics. So we have to find these other paints that are a lot runnier, so we can use them to make our thicker, crazier paints a little bit more soft and runny so they can attach themselves to the brush. If there's one thing Bob always told us, it was a thin paint was gonna stick to a thick paint, right? So you have to make your paint a little bit thinner. Now you can do that with the odorless mineral spirit cleaner, or your linseed oil, or your liquid clear, or whatever, but it has to be a different consistency, otherwise it won't stick to itself. All right, if you're ever having troubles, you're like, I just can't get this paint to stick on, and every time I do it just mushes it, and I can't get it figured out, and this, that, and the other, you don't have the right consistency of your paint, right? The consistency is off and needs to be changed. Little things, little pockets of light in there. Oh, fabulous. Let's get in here with some trunk on our tree. Same trunk color as we got on our little guy. We're just gonna tap at him like that. Little taps. Come up here, little tap, little tap. Maybe there's one up there, soft, small little taps, right? Little details. Now, when this dries, Tyler's gonna be able to literally run his finger across all of these trunks and he'll feel all that texture, just like bark of a tree. Swear on my life, it's really cool. Really cool. Now, let's get back in here. I wanna see just a little bit more of our purpley highlights right down underneath these guys. Just a little touch. Little bits, right? Changing the color, not covering up all the plaque. Don't cover everything up. Now, we got to go make up some more plaque, speak of the devil. So what 3 colors do we need to mix in order to create Paint with Josh plaque? You got to let me know, guys, in the comments below. Tell me the 3 colors. Now, maybe you've got anxiety like me and you don't want to be wrong. And so you're just like sitting there quietly not typing into the comments. I feel you. I'm the same way. So check the comments and I'm telling you, maybe about 400 to 7 million people are going to tell you those 3 colors that we need to mix. Then we're going to go back into our little bushy brush. Okay, let's get over here. Let's go into our little plaque mix right down at the base. Let's come off of this guy right at the base of our tree. Leave a little bit of space in between and just work it horizontally, right? Work it horizontally towards the water, like it's reaching over there, trying to grip on. We'll work it horizontally again, horizontally, horizontally each time. Tapping it, tapping it, tapping it. Now we got all this darkness in here, right? We'll switch again. We'll rotate back to that phthalo green. We did green, purple, green, purple, green. Right here, guys, it's telling us how to do it. It's telling us to rotate. It's telling us to just do it for our eyes, man. The more that you tap in, right, the more bright it's gonna be. And remember, you gotta leave the dark spaces. Otherwise, you'll have no depth back in there. A little bit more liquid white into our last little bit of our dioxazine purple. We might have to get some more of this out. Tap this little guy again. Not trying to cover in every space, just trying to have it be a little bit different, right? Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now we gotta work on our other side. work this guy from the center to the left, from the furthest point away to the closest point on our left side. Now we got to work this way. All right, I'm gonna leave this guy just like that too, just glowing in the night. Guys, fabulous. Okay, we need a little bit of bushery. So while we have that bush brush out, again, just the top corner, we're only ever using half the brush at a time. Let's work it sideways and cover up this area that we're not gonna be able to see that in real life. All right, we see a little piece and then boom, it's blocked by a little bush, right? Just like that. Little bits, little bush out there in the day, and why not? Let's highlight it right now, just to show you that you can. A little bit of our phthalo green, a little bit of our cad yellow on this guy, because he's closer to our bit of light, so we'd have this different kind of phthalo-y green little highlight of a touch. Ooh, it's fabulous. Okay, you guys, I'm telling you, if you love the enthusiasm and you just love to paint, you're gonna love my chip. You're just gonna fall in love with me like so many others. Oh man, like literally zero. Zero. So, again, you guys tell me where you're watching from. How do you like this painting so far? Let me know. And remember, this one's already sold, which means that we have to come up with a title for it as a group. And then the buyer, who is also watching right now, is going to tell us what the title is going to be. Okay? Now, since we've got this guy right in here, you guys know what I'm thinking. And if you don't know, just like my old Uncle Bob, that's right, I am related. He was my grandfather's cousin. Just like he would do, I gotta have a big old tree in here. Just a big old branchy, monstrous tree, okay? So, let's get out here, mix up our plaque mix, throw it down. Let's save all of this brown. Like, I don't know why it took up so much space. Save all that brown for our trunkiness, okay? We're gonna use this as our shadow, this is our highlight. But first we need to have a tree out there. Now how are we gonna do that? We're gonna take our fan brush, okay? We're gonna run it through our plaque mix just like this. Rolling it down, rolling it down. Oh, it's my favorite part. This just adds so much depth, okay? Now we've left room for one big branchy, big old trunk, maybe about as big as my two fingers like this, all the way up, all the way down. Get a little bit bigger as it gets down here. Thank you for the gifts, I love you. The more we put it down here below all of this grass, the closer it's gonna be. The taller it is to your canvas, the closer it's also going to be. So let's get in here. Let's decide we want it to live right here, this little spot right there, right? That little X marks the spot is where we want to come down to, okay? So let's load up our brush. Come down from all the way from the top. Don't worry about whatever else is back there. Bang, boom. You got to cover it. You got to forget, right? If you can't forget what's back behind you, then you're never going to want to cover up everything, right? You won't want anything to be ever, you'll be like, no, those are my best trees ever. I don't want to cover those. Have those words ever come out of your mouth? Or, oh, that sky was so nice. Now I don't want to put anything else in it. I've said it before. I know you've said it before. If I've said it, you said it. Let's make this guy a little bit thicker. Ooh, he's crazy. He's a monster. All right, it's got to be dark all the way, top to bottom. With that plaque oil paint, which is very thick, very dark. Look at that guy, right? Almost cut off our little guy back here. See these little bushes? Why you have to do the highlights first? Get all that light back behind our tree. You guys, is that not amazing? Holy shaving cream, everybody. Come on. So remember, start coming up with a title for this one and start typing it into the comments. And our buyer, Tyler Bradford, is going to be searching those comments, looking for the best title, and then he's going to tell me, and then we're going to title the thing. All right, first thing, let's put about 70 branches on this tree. And you're like, oh, he must be exaggerating. 70 branches. No, dead but serious. 70 branches. Here we go. Okay, let's rock it out. Boom, boom, boom. All we're doing is getting our odorless mineral spirits onto a big old pile so it becomes much wetter in consistency. And then it will come off of our brush and just run for a mile. All right, get out here, start dropping it down, crisscrossing. Maybe you had a longer guy who's coming out this way. All right, maybe each one of these guys has a little branch that went off of him in a little direction, or it came down, right? Wherever we want it to be. But here's your one kicker. If you don't have enough of this odorless mineral spirit in your brush, or in your pile of paint mix, it will not, and I repeat, will not come off of the brush like this. You will not have these really sharp little things unless it's the right consistency. Now, mine is no longer running down my palette anymore, which means I don't have enough of my cleaner in my pile. So let's go back over, dip our little brush in, maybe 6, 7 times, get enough on there, right? So now it wants to drip, okay? All the drippiness, we're gonna roll it in through our paint, mix it up, get it onto our brush. Let's not forget about our other side of our tree over here. He needs a couple little crazy old guys to live off of him. Boom, right? Not every bit gonna have the same amount of branches or go as far, right? Maybe some of these branches don't go anywhere at all. They literally break off because there's too much competition for the branchies out there, right? Out here, or something fell in the forest and broke it, right? All these little things can happen with our trees and your trees. How many do we have now? Has anyone been keeping track of the amount of bristles? Because I said I was gonna paint 70, but I was kind of joking about that. But now I'm wondering how many we actually have. Bang, off into the night. Right over here, come out into our grassy spot. Bigger branches where they connect to the tree on these bottom ones, guys. They are the oldest ones, these bottom guys. They're the ones that have been growing or they've been broken off or mistreated, all these bottomy branches. Anybody got a count on how many branches we've actually done? Because I'm curious to see what it is. Zip, zap, a couple little bits now, just random little chunks of tree branch that we're just gonna almost shut our eyes, drag them off in different areas at different angles. Maybe we go up, maybe we go down, maybe we go straight side to side, right? Leaving those little weird broken ones. Those are my favorite. Oh, baby. Let's take that one, shoot it straight out to the side. That's the guy when I walk past, it's like, oh, right in the shoulder every time, guys. Okay, let's get over here. While we got this brush in hand, okay, and we got the paint right here, we might as well add our little bird signature since we're almost done anyway. Okay, so you guys start coming up with a title. I'm gonna throw our little birds right here, just flying through. Even the brightness has taken away some of that bird's left wing. It's just so bright back there in the forest. Something miraculous is happening back in here. Or the witch is just conjuring up some intense, just spell. A wicked spell. Okay, let's get over here with our palette knife. I'm gonna slide down a little bit of this brown, kind of flattening it out, take a little, that's way too much. A little bit of white, a little bit. Brighten it up. Let's hit our brightest area of our trunk first. Remember that light's coming in? Maybe we would have some brighter color brown right over here, right? Now you need enough on your knife that when you tap at it, it comes off and sticks just like a little ridge would stick on there. Okay, and the more we go up, the more that paint is gonna get darker and darker and darker. We can go back in, you can change the colors on your knife or your piles of paint, just literally tapping, right? And in here, pulling it down, scooping it up, pushing it against the tree and removing the knife. Bang, straight against it, remove. Remove, remove, remove. If you get a real bright spot like that or a place where it's a little bit too thick, just tap into it and tap it a different direction. Maybe go down, maybe go up, maybe go down, right? We get to choose what it looks like. The more that you go over it, the darker it's gonna get. Remember, we're in a deep, dark forest. It doesn't need to be so stinking bright. You start tapping out down here, tap, 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 literally until you run out, right? Because we're leaving all this textury bark onto our canvas. Now, it doesn't need to be perfectly split like that, but it's cool to have those little bits of breaks and different things, right? You get all these little bits of brightness and darkness, textured areas. Gorgeous, right? Look at that little tree. Oh, baby, if that's not the best looking tree you've ever seen, I don't want to hear it because I already know it is. Right? Just tapping in, getting as much texture onto this guy as possible because he's our closest guy in our whole forest. He's gonna have all the texture, which is why none of the other trees besides this little guy right here have any texture because you need them to look very far away. That's why they're done in that acrylic paint. Oh, Tyler, this thing's this thing's gonna weigh as much as a real tree. Woo! Hot damn, that looks cool. All right, let's get in here, right along the edge, right? We don't need it to be right up against the side. You can have a little bit of darkness on your light side edge. We just don't want to have it be too much. Gorgeous. Gore, and then just. Let's take a little bit of our plaque mix, just so we have the same amount of texture on our back side in the shadows as we do on the front side. Let's take that plaque that the tree is made up of, and we're just giving it a little bit of our really deep, dark, shadowy tree trunks on the back. Now, this might take, you know, a week, 2, 3 weeks to dry, maybe. Depends on your thickness of paint. How crazy you go on your little guy over here, right? Now, let's get, I know we got some more brown here. We got some more brownage left in here. There we go. A little bit of that, a little bit of our white, just to brighten up in some areas. Gorgeous. Fabulous. Take a little piece of this, come off on some of these little tree branches. All right, not every branch is gonna have that textured trunk on top. A lot of times the branches will have bits where the trunk is literally hanging off, you know what I mean? They're not all fully trunked up all the time. Gorgeous. A lot of these bigger guys, maybe they have a little touch of that brightness just in different places along the edge of the branch. And it's only really, again, for your buyer or your purchaser that's gonna really be looking at it for every detail, right? Most of the people that are gonna look at it online aren't gonna look for every detail, you know what I mean? As much as you want them to sit and admire it, they just never do, trust me. Trust me, even old Paint with Josh, man, I'm telling you. But your buyer is gonna be the one that are really looking for those details. So don't put too many, otherwise it's gonna make it look odd, right? Gotta make it look dark and foresty. Not everything out there needs the same or in the same spot. Fantastic tree. Okay, let's use the last bit of our plaque mix. Get rid of this really wet stuff because we don't want it to mix in with our odorless mineral spirit cleaner. And I'm gonna ask you, do you think we have enough paint in this pile to make up the bushes that we need for down here? They've gotta be bigger than these guys. You know what I mean? It's gonna take up this whole area. So I think I know what all of you guys are gonna say. So I'm going to start to make up some more. Just like that. We don't need a whole lot, but you need a little. You gotta have some body and some depth to your very foreground bushes. They have to be the deepest and darkest and the brightest if we're gonna go on our highlights. That change right there, right? Very cool, very cool. Especially that transition between our highlight and our dark has to be very dark up here in the front. It's not gonna receive as many bits of light as all of our guys are back there. Again, just on half the brush, a lot of texture, pop it out, roll it down, right up in front of our other little bit of waterfall. Just forcing our water to go this way before it then rolls around to this side. Come off of this guy. Little things. Bang, 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 bang. Little bits in the night. In the night. Somebody said that. One of my, I think it was an Instagram comment. I was going through the comments and it said, this guy likes to say in the night a lot. And I was like, you're right, I do. I don't know why. But I do. All right, let's go back into our liquid white, which is basically your very wet activator, right? Does anybody out there have kids? You make that slime crap, right? You have to have the activator in order for it to work. This is the activator that gets our brighter colors to come off of our brush and attach themselves onto this darker mixture of paint, right? Again, not everything is gonna be exactly the same. Don't do your whole bush in one touch of color all the time, right? We do sometimes, but not all the time. Let's get over here with that liquid white again. See if we can get any more of the purple. Oh, there's some there. A little bit of that purple. Now I'm gonna leave a very dark section in between, right, for our shadow of our tree. So it just looks really dark. Can't really tell what's happening there because it's behind the light. It's the deepest, darkest part of our whole painting back there. Isn't that a beauty, you guys? So start coming up with a title. You gotta tell Tyler what our title is, and then he's gonna tell me what to title it. And then we'll be done. But if you don't type your title suggestion in, you're never gonna know if he's gonna pick your title, right? There we go. I was hoping I had one little bit left of our liquid white. I've been signing everyone down in that corner, so let's put one down in this corner. I like to sign with the liquid white just because it's the most wet paint that we already have, right? Going across all this thick texture, and it stands out. And I never like to make my signature too big and be, you know, focal point of the painting. But just down there in either corner, we alternate, you know, either which side, doesn't really matter. Man, that's cool looking. Tyler, Brad, Bob. What do you think, dude? What do you think? Let's go like this too. Just because we need a bit more little slashes or something. We're like running out along the edge. Little things, little bits. Oh, woo, baby. Little things, guys. Back over them very lightly. Just little bits of like tumultuousness. I didn't say they were all running down like that. Just everywhere. Bang, 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 bang. You start rolling over. If you don't like it again, swipe over. And you're all done, right? You guys get to decide what it looks like, not me. I'm just here to show you different little things. Now, let's take our bit of our titanium white, so right down here in the front, and let's just scrape in a little water line here and there. Right there, run along the edge over here, and back up underneath our bushes, wherever you need it. Right, just a little bit. Streak it in there, get you a couple little water lines, little details, little things. They don't all have to connect, they don't have to be straight, they don't have to be round, they don't have to do anything that you don't want them to do. Tyler, Brad, Bob, look at that thing. That is cool. Pacific, oh my God, Pacific Potions Pervading. The 3 Ps of Paint with Josh. There you go. 3 Ps, Amethyst Night. Man, you guys are just excellent. Thank you guys all on YouTube for giving me a thumbs up. I love you guys over there. Now let's spin this thing around, and I'm gonna have to go back and look at Tyler's title again because I've already. Persephone, was that part of it? No? I've already forgot. Let's come over here. Big old monster of a J. There we go. I really have trouble spelling original sometimes. This one, is it 84? It's 84, right? And then 85 is the next one. Pretty sure. Number 1484 mods. Yes? No? Anybody? Nobody remember? You guys are killing me. Pretty sure it's 84. All right. Over there, and we gotta call it. Tyler, I need your title again. Pacific Potions Pervading. Got it. Don't ask me what pervading means, but I like it. I like the word. 9/16/2024. This one, excuse me, you can always go find more if you go to paintwithjosh.com. You can find classes, you can find all sorts of stuff over there. If you head over to the website, look at this thing. Oh, it is amazing. Look at the little smoke coming out of the cottage. She's just in there brewing something. I dig it. I dig it, guys. You guys are amazing. Amazing. This one really came out cool. I like the little door handle. Came out nice. Door handle over here. We got our shabby old little, just a shabby old little bit of wood over here. There we go. Fix our little window. Zip, zap. She's not the best keep. She's always busy doing potions versus keeping up on her little witch's cottage. Yeah, just like that. Came out amazing. That's cool. All right, guys. Well, this one, I can't wait to see your guys' version. And thank you for saying it's your favorite painting of mine. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. So we're gonna finish cleaning off these brushes, then we'll do a light party for Tyler, and then we'll be all set for the night. All right. Here, there. one final little brush and we're all done. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so here's your flash warning if you are sensitive to flashing lights and all that stuff. Your flash warning is now. We're gonna have a little light party for Tyler for buying the painting, and it's gonna be awesome. It'll be about 10 seconds long, and I'll tell you audibly when it's okay to look back at your phone. So, 3, 2, 1, light party! Boom! Look at that thing. Oh, it's cool. Oh, I like it. That's pretty neat, guys. All those little different colors in the wood, the texture, all that stuff. Man, just came out fantastic. So, the light party is now concluded. You may now turn your phones back around if you're light sensitive. And we'll say goodbye to the YouTube and the Facebook streamers. Love you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I can't wait, literally can't wait to see your version. If you want to know how to do the background, check my videos tab on YouTube. I just released a brand new video that'll show you how to do the whole thing, and then you can wash it with color, throw a big old gnarly looking tree in there, and send me a photo of it. I can't wait to see it. So until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day, and